Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South St. Clair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield, drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show.
Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Welcome to the Halos in the Infield postgame podcast with Todd Fox, sponsored by Noble Ale Works Brewery, as well as 714 Tickets. This is your nightly destination for all things Los Angeles Angels. Come join Todd as he recaps every thrilling and disappointing moment from tonight's game, win or lose. Get ready for insightful analysis, fan reactions, and Todd's engaging commentary. Plus, fans can call in live to the Halo Hotline to have their voices and opinions heard as well.
It's the Halo Hotline.
Stay tuned in for your chance to win free Halos merchandise with our weekly trivia.
It's all about the game.
It's time to dive into the heart of Angels baseball with Todd Fox on the Halos in the Infield postgame podcast.
There's a drive from Mike Trout. See you later. That is long gone.
It's the Todd Fox postgame podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Hey, how you been? It's Todd Fox on the Halos in the Infield postgame show. I'm back. It's been a while. It's not been because of choice, or not choice, but because it has been because of my choice, not to go over night in and night out the wretched baseball that we are forced to watch, or that is on television, or that we're getting alerts on our phone. Because some of you have just said, okay, I'm just going to get the alerts on the phone. I'm not even going to watch anymore. And then some of you have even tuned that out. And then the dreaded part of you, or the people that are Angel fans that are the honks, will just be like, hey, did you hear that Ohtani hit another home run? Hey, Dodgers, hey, Dodgers. I'm tired of that too. And right now I'm just like, hurry up, stat pad all you want, Ohtani. Let's get to the postseason where you guys will choke and it will all be over, and whoever wins the World Series wins the World Series. I don't care. But for right now, it's the Halos in the Infield postgame show. I'm your host, Todd Fox, and I'm sorry I haven't been around much, but it's not because of football either. Sundays, yes, I will say that for sure. It is because of football. But when it comes to just during the week, man, I mean, think about this. I mean, we are the only baseball team this year that will go in the record books to have lost a season series with the Chicago White Sox. We're 2-4 against them. We're the only team. Now, I know I tried to bring up the fact that maybe, we were the only team to get swept by the White Sox, but no, that honor also goes to the Tampa Bay Rays, but then they would sweep them right back the next time they faced them. So technically they didn't lose the season series with the White Sox, but we did. And if you think about the last three nights when the Angels had opportunities to hand the White Sox that dubious record of 131, right? And you had our announcers, Gooby and Wayne, just waxing poetic the entire time before. Hey, did you know that when this team, the Philadelphia A's hold the record and the Chicago White Sox are going to beat them? When the Angels beat them, right? How'd that go for you? Counting your chickens before they hatch. Acting like this is a real good team, or even an average team. The White Sox looked far better, and I don't know if we played another 20 times, we would win 5 against the White Sox. This is a historically bad baseball team that, again, has just amazed me of how many times, and again, I want to do a show where we all sit down and give our highs and lows to the season, right? And then I also want to give our extreme lows, because I think there's a separate category needed for what we've seen this year. Because every time this team does something outrageously bad and you're like, nah, I can't get any worse, I got this one. And then the next team, or the next set of games show up, or the next opportunity to make things worse happens. I've never seen anything like it. I really have not seen anything like it from an organizational standpoint. I can't think of another season that's this worse. 1994, the Angels were, I believe, 24 games under 500 before the strike and in last place. That was the last time they finished a season in last place. The last time they finished a season in last place, 162 games, was 1991. And that's when the division had 7 teams in it. So they were 7 of 7. And that year, when they were 7 out of 7 in a division full of 7 teams, other teams, they were 81 and 81. So it's not like that year they went, like they did this year, 62 and probably 99. They didn't have a season like that. They finished 507 out of 7. So that shows you how good that division was. But when it comes to this baseball team this season, the amount of sludge, garbage, stuff that's been fed down your throat and my throat all year and talking about, it started from the beginning of the season. I don't know if it was the curse of Ron Washington, the curse of Ohtani not trading him 3 seasons ago, with this one being done. Should have been traded 3 seasons ago. But Ron Washington, was he the kiss of death? Hey, we're going to own the West. We're going to run down the West. You can take it to the bank and book it. Take what he said in spring training or when he was hired as manager. Granted, that's before any kind of these moves didn't go down to where the Angels thought and Trout and him were like, well, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get, no, you're not. So granted, that was said in the winter meetings, right? Fast forward all the way till just last night when Ron Washington was quoted to a media member who actually was covering this piece of crap team. And Ron said, right now with the players we have on this team can't win. It's not constructed to win a championship. These players aren't winning caliber, basically what he said. Only to retract that and said, you know what? It came off wrong. No, Ron, you were telling the truth. You think Jack Lopez is in this team's future? You think Kevin Pillar is in this team's future? You think Cavadas is the DH of the future? No. We all know who the guys of the future are on this team. And one of them is in a severe drought, no hoppy. That guy, his season should have ended August 1st. Because, he was doing really good up until August 1st. But I'll go over some numbers real quick. So, to show you how bad this team is, and again, I'm in several Angel pages, several message groups, whether I want to or not, people have added me. And sometimes when I have some time, I read through the messages and I read through the comments and whatnot, and you still have an overwhelming majority of the Angel fans coming on there and saying, well, see, this is why we need pitching. And then you watch tonight, Detmers strikes out 12. And yes, he's a head case. In my opinion, he should not be on the team next year. And if he's in the starting rotation next year, then we really haven't upgraded. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Watch him be Cy Young next year. But in my opinion, I don't think Detmers should be on this team. We've already seen it, done it. He's a head case. He needs a therapist. If we don't get him a therapist to fix his mental issues, I was saying it was mental issues before the dumbass team diagnosed him. But anyway, I digress. The point being is he threw 12 strikeouts tonight, allowed 4 runs. That's it. Against a slouching Texas team with nowhere near our pitching numbers. And that's funny to say, but Texas's pitching is not better than ours. And they still shut us down. We're still swinging for the fences. Wayne is still talking about the walk-off waffles and the home runs that we should be getting. Gooby's telling you how many home runs Cavadas hit in the minor leagues. None of that matters here. But they'll talk about it because that's the philosophy. My girl told me the other day, you remember when we first hooked up Gooby was talking way different 3 seasons ago. He would call out hitters for swinging too aggressively, rolling into double plays, swinging at sliders outside. Doesn't do that no more. It's all about a script. It's all about, do the fans enjoy the food at the stadium? Do they enjoy the experience? Do the fans like the fireworks? Do the fans like the giveaways? And if all that fits into play, Artie Moreno doesn't give clearly a damn what's on the field. Because if you look at what the Angels have done hitting, okay, and I was just with my friend Renee. We went out to dinner tonight, and we were talking. He's a huge Dodger fan. He's trying to blow smoke up my butt about how it's going to be different this year, and I'm telling him different. I'm like, it's not going to be different. It's going to be the same. And we get into the conversation. He's not believing how bad the team is. He's under that same AM 830, same Halo honk, same private messages that I get about people saying, well, we need Corbin Burns next year. We need this pitcher. We need that pitcher. Wrong. I say, look up the ERAs. Look up the strikeouts. Look up with the pitching with runners in scoring position. Look at the Angels stats. Now, they're not top 10. They're definitely not top 10 ERA. And a lot of that has to do with the up and downs of the rotation, guys coming and going, Anderson's fall off. There's a whole degrees of why things have happened the way they've happened, why the ERA's pushing 5 as a team. But when you break down the numbers, the overall innings, the runners left on, the inherited runners, everything else like that, the Angels are really good. The stats are really there. They're not bad. And it's surprising with the amount of injuries and casualties this team has had this year. You can't really knock the pitching. But again, you go to AM 830, you go to these pages, and you would think all it is the pitching's the problem. That's it. That's all there is to it. I mean, there's nothing else wrong with the team. Absolutely nothing. We ignore the fact that, again, against a shit lineup or a rotation of the Rangers, you can't score more than 2 runs. Hell, against probably one of the most, well, now the official worst team in baseball, and you get swept. And it's not because you were blown out in every game. The last game, okay, 7-0, but you had opportunities in that game too. If you can't score, you're not going to win. So I showed Renee, I'm like, look up our numbers. I'm not even going to touch my phone and show you mine. Look up on your phone the stats of the hitting of the Angels and tell me what's a bigger issue. I let him look at all the pitching stats first. I said, tell me in your opinion, since you don't watch many Angel games, what's the problem with this team? He looks at all the stats, runners in scoring position, 28, batting average, 27th. It went down and down and down, and it stayed. It never, and any of the hitting stats, it never got higher than 25. And that was home runs. No, I checked that. They were 22nd in the league with home runs. So all that preaching about how important the home run is, they're still 22nd. That's their best number as far as where they rank amongst teams. That's pitiful. You're not going to win like that. But again, don't tell the honks that. You don't know baseball. We need pitching. If you wanted to talk about we needed pitching at the tail end of Socha's era, at the Osmus era, at the beginning of the Madden era, I would totally agree. I'd say, hey, we could score runs. We just can't pitch. That narrative has flipped and flipped hard. Yet people are still ignorant to understand we need hitting over pitching. It has become that apparent. But I digress. The other day when we were facing the Chicago White Sox, and we touched on this in the podcast, you had fans, again, as much as the ownership of the Angels sucks, ask any Chicago White Sox fan, do they love their owner? They don't. They hate him. But that dude allows you to walk into his stadium with a paper bag. Doesn't have an issue with it. Doesn't tell you, hey, you can only sit in the stands. You can't walk around with that thing on, and making excuses left and right to ban you. No, the White Sox owners allowed that stadium to have multiple people with paper bags, hundreds. And the White Sox fans, it's a one thing for the Angels to continually disappoint, lower the bar on this franchise, just make us a complete laughing stock. Again, if you have Instagram and you have like the news channels locally, I follow KTLA and Fox, right? And even ABC7 sometimes. And I never, ever see them post anything about the Angels. Ever. It's just blowing Ohtani up your keister all the time. If it is anything sports, they'll touch on the Lakers, Dodgers, Chargers, whatever, right? And it's crime stories and blah, blah, blah. Tell me why, like the Backstreet Boys said, my voice cracked, sorry. But tell me why I get a notification saying, hey, Angels' worst record in franchise history. Huh. It's all over Fox and all over KTLA. Because they're Dodgers. They're all pro Dodgers. When they want to rub it in your face, they will, and they look for that opportunity. So again, we're setting ourselves up for historical lows. Somehow, some way, they didn't reach the one goal they should have and got 100 losses. They're going to finish with 99. You watch, they're going to get swept at home. Fan Appreciation Day's tomorrow. Yeah. Just give me Deos at every at-bat, and that'll be enough appreciation. But my point is, this team finds new lows all the time, makes things worse all the time. The White Sox were going sarcastically to sell out that stadium so that they could cheer us on to beat their team, so they could witness history. And guess what? We disappointed them too. We're like, no. If you're rooting for us, to hell with you. And you had Wayne and Gooby the whole time. Hey, we're going to make them lose. We're going to set the record. Nope. Swept out of Chicago. And then what happens tonight? There was a before the game ended, a sarcastic ESPN column that said, and it was making fun of the Angels. It said, will the White Sox ever lose again? Are they going to avoid the record by playing the Angels? Oh, no, wait. They play the Tigers, who need to win a playoff, to win one more to clinch a playoff spot. And guess what? Detroit, again, another low when the Angels aren't even playing yet. Detroit not only beats Chicago, does what the Angels couldn't do in 3 games, does it in 1, but they also clinch a playoff berth for the first time since 2014. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all alone. We are all alone now because the longest streak of not making the postseason goes to, who do you think? It goes to the Angels. Yep. Your Angels now have the longest active losing streak or non-playoff appearances. It's going to be at 10. Thank you, Arturo Moreno. And again, and again, and again, and again, Super Halo Brothers fans, everydayers, the honks, don't blame Artie Moreno. Did you know that you could still get a beer for $4.50 at the Big A? Do you remember when he lowered beer prices? Do you remember all those years of parking was $10? Do you not get entertained by those fireworks and the Bandai Namco and the ice creams running around the stadium? Does a fudge bar win? Does the ice cream scoop win? Are you not entertained? They still take his side. They'll still take his side. What's it going to take for honks and everydayers to understand that this team, like, is it going to take a Artie Moreno, I'm going to move this team to Nashville if that were the case? Are you finally going to turn your backs on this prick when it's too late? Are you gonna? Because you know what I feel like, and I hate to go religious. I hate to go religious on this, but imagine Halos in the infield's the arc, trying to save the goddamn people, trying to save the franchise. You know, we're trying to gather the players one by one to bring them into the arc. We're trying to save the logos and the respect of this franchise. While the world is turning to shit, the great flood is going to come. The team's going to be taken away. Are you going to wait till that flood comes, Angel Honks, to join the arc, trying to save the team when it's too late? I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. If it ever, God forbid, gets to that point where the team is being dangled out there in a move scenario because we're so bad and we're and they can't win here in Anaheim because we're not completely in. That's when he'll drop the LA market. Watch, Artie Moreno will be like, I can't win in the Anaheim market. We tried to be Los Angeles and we're not Los Angeles. And he's going to wind up lisping his way to another city. And if he does that, I give up. This team leaves this state. I'm no longer a baseball fan, number one. And number two, I'm going to give a big F you to all the honks and all the AM 830 and all the bullshit, all the people that just would not. Because, again, to have change, you need to make the change. You need to create controversy. You need to be in the forefront. You can't sit back and just be like, yeah, this team needs to sell. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Because from what I've seen, there's only been a few attempts at it, and we've been a couple of those attempts to try to rally the troops, to try to get people to go. And we're a small platform. I tried to get the other platforms to join in and say, hey, we're all one big family. Let's do this all together. No. It's a bunch of hot air by them when they want to do their podcast and they want to act evil, but then they turn the page and they go back to Artie's the man or the team's this and the team's that, and they could talk positive again. And we would love to talk positive on this team moving forward. But again, give me something to talk positive about. Give me an opportunity to talk Angels baseball and be happy about it. But what's there to be happy about? And we know what the issue is. It starts from the top, trickles all the way down. We've got the fungus all over us, which is the analytics. You gotta cut the head off before everything else starts to heal. Like a pimple. Right now, the blackhead is Arturo Moreno. You got to squeeze the pus out of that dude. You got to get him off of the franchise. As soon as you do that, put a little rubbing alcohol in it, and then all of a sudden it gets in there, cures the bacteria, all the fungus from the analytics, and the bullshit guy from Indiana or whatever he's from back east, all his cronies and Carpino and all those losers get out of the organization. Then you have something. Then you could start over. Then you get an owner that's going to actually put the people in place, let them run the goddamn team like they're supposed to. Or just let me do it. I've got the game plan. That would never happen. But still, you get my drift, right? I'm tired of what we have in place right now. There's got to be a change. And the only way you can do that is if you bring people out in force. 20, 30 people, that's great. But that's not going to do it. Some people say, well, just stop showing up to the games. Okay, genius, great idea. How do you get those 40,000 from not going? Because Artie knows the magic words. Free stuff. And also for family 4-pack. Look, I love going to Angels games, so I'm not ridiculing those ones that do go. All I'm saying is, you sort of tried to say, hey, I'm not going to games, so therefore it's going to hurt Artie. Really? The attendance is really not that much down than it hasn't been in previous years. We're still hitting the 2.5 million mark. We're still averaging, I think it's 11th in the league with total fan attendance. 11th for a last place team. Shoot, the Royals, Tigers, name them. Are in the mid to late 20s in overall rankings in attendance, and they're in the postseason. So it's not all about the attendance. That is always the jack-off answer. Don't go to the games. That'll affect them. No. Speak out. Whenever the Angels post something, ridicule it, troll it, just hammer it down. Whenever your friends talk about it, hammer it. Social media, post about it. Do what we've been doing, or go to a game. Force your way in there with a freaking paper bag. Hide it, conceal it, wear it when you get to your seat. Sell the Team Artie shirts. When you're on the road, do the same thing. Let your voice be heard. You don't have to go through this channel. You don't have to wait for us to set something up, because God knows you can't get any of us podcasts together because we all have our own agenda and nobody can work together. And I've been the only, and see, this is why I'm so bitter to all of them, because I was the one trying to be the mediator, because I do know that there's egos involved in this podcasting. There's egos involved in, oh, we're doing this, you're copying us. And there's always that back and forth where you're stealing our stuff, you're stealing our stuff. I was putting all that shit aside and say, hey, you know what? Ignore that. We have a common goal. This is going to be a terrible season. Let's rep this. Let's rep the Halo the right way. Let's put the voice out there. Let's try to change minds. Let's try to be more in the public. Let's go to some games together. Let's show that, hey, we're working together. Let's have a common goal. Okay, so we're not going to take the profits from the shirts and use them for our page. Whatever profits we make, we'll put to whatever gathering or whatever thing we're doing. Let's all put it in a pot together, right? All good ideas, all were passed up. That's my frustration from the season, because, again, you ask for help, and when they're talking to you in person, oh, yeah, shaking hands and kissing babies and everything's all gravy. But when it comes down to stepping up, crickets, tumbleweeds. And then we're the ones left trying to get, we're the ones having the sponsors. We're the ones freaking going out there and trying to say, hey, we're trying to promote something, and then it goes nowhere. And then we take the L. I take the L. I'm the one going in person, getting kicked out of games. I'm not getting okay, so that's an Angel story. How come none of the other podcasts picked up on it? And how come no one else talked about it? How come nobody else said, oh, hey, he's trying to do this. We're backing him. We just weren't there. At least do that. No, you don't get no love there. You don't get no help there. So then I'm at to the point where I'm like, then why give a fuck? Why do I care? Why should we care? Why do we just fall in line and be like, well, let's talk Angels baseball. Let's keep it between the lines. Some people like that. Some people want to hear about a 5-2 loss and how we had 2 runs on 7 hits and we struck out 14 Texas Rangers and they still beat us. Some people want to hear, and I would love to put up stats like that. I would love to say, hey, Neto went 4 for 4 tonight and he drove in 3 because he's done that before. And then he had this and that. I would love to do that. We're not at that point. I think we're far past that point where we're not even close to contention. We haven't been close to contention since May. So we've had a lot of focusing on a negative. And then it's not like this is the first year we missed the postseason. This is not like the second or third or fourth year where we've missed the postseason. This is not like the same issues that keep cropping up no matter what we do in free agency or not every season. This has been a long track record of now. If you've had a kid that is entering into kindergarten, or if you've had a kid that is entering into 4th grade, they have not experienced Angels baseball winning. You've lost an entire generation who has not seen any kind of winning baseball. And why I'm so passionate about it is because growing up for me, I mean, the only time I remember Angels winning, like I've told the story in '86, I thought my dad, he said, I'm going to throw you up in the air and toss you. I used to like when he did that when I was a kid because I was really small. And like as soon as they get this last out, that's one of my first memories as the Angels blowing it to Boston. After that, you're talking about a 6-year-old Todd Fox till the age of 21 didn't experience any playoff baseball whatsoever. 15 years. So I don't want that for today's generation. I don't want this for the big 20s. I don't want that for Eddie and all these other kids that are growing up better. Like I want them to know that, hey, this team was good at one point and you could have enjoyed them in your teenage years, repping that halo at school like I did, even though they sucked. But it meant something more when I could go to work and I'm wearing my jersey or my jacket and I'm proud the team's in the postseason or we won the World Series. And that World Series that we got in 2002, it bought us 7 years, 7 to 8 years of glory of looking back and saying, this is great. It started to get scary for me when we weren't repeating, because once I got that taste of a World Series, I wanted more. I was happy the team was constantly contending, but I wanted more. I wanted that second title to legitimatize the franchise. I did not want to be a one-hit wonder. And over 20 years later, we are a one-hit wonder. I wanted that second title so bad. So bad. And you could always go back, at least I did, and I would troll, and I'd be like, yeah, the Dodgers haven't won, and I'd go back and I'd say, yeah, you guys haven't won, and and the Yankees hadn't won, and we'd won lately, and who won lately, and that all went by the wayside. Other teams have won since we've won. And then 14 was like the last good year, and then boom. It's been a decade now of futility. I don't want it to go to 15. But some would say if it goes to 15 to get that second title, I'm all in. Yeah, can you guarantee it? Are we 5 years away? Because I'd much rather do what Detroit did tonight. And congratulations to the Detroit Tigers, which I predicted in the regular season opener, they would go 80 and 82 or 82 and 80. I said it was going to be one of those two where they're going to be either one game over or 2 games over 500, or they're going to be 2 games under. And kudos to them, because I thought this was the stepping stone year till next year where they contend. But it looks like them, the Royals, and the freaking shit fucks from Ohio all made the playoffs. And I thought the Central was going to be like the West. It flip-flopped. The West is really weak this year. And now the Central got more teams into the postseason than the East. That was weird. Pretty weird baseball season, all things considered. But congratulations to the Detroit Tigers. And look up and down that roster. And in fact, I'll do that right now. You look up the Detroit Tigers and what they have as far as a baseball team right now. And I have to get the score here. Hold on a second. I pulled up I want to get their recent team. This is a squad that they're going to the playoffs with. And this is something that, again, the Angels have nobodies too at times. But you're thinking, man, this team could probably win. But look at this team right here. So you got Ibanez, Vierling, Green, Malloy, Perez, Torkelson, Sweeney, Rogers, and Meadows. All household names, right? No. Here's something that makes them good. Ibanez, 243, 258 for Verling, 265, 204 for Malloy. That sucks, but 238, 220, 224, 199, and 243. You can deal with a couple guys right there batting 200. The thing is, runners in scoring position, they're about 12th in the league. Their batting averages are around 250, most of them, right? It's not great. It's not 90 style, not 2000 style, not even mid 2000 styles, but it's good enough. It's good enough to be on base, and their on base percentages are good. They're pitching solid. They have a solid pitching staff and a bullpen. And it's not like they're throwing out your Randy Johnsons, Kurt Schilling, stuff like that. They're throwing out a rotation that's not really dominant at all, but they're 86 and 74. They take care of home. They're 43 and 36 at home. I mean, in a tough division where, again, even the Minnesota Twins are over 500, they're going to miss the playoffs by only a couple games. If Detroit can do it, my point is, why can't the Angels? Ownership is not much better in Detroit than Anaheim. Their ownership is frankly not that good in Detroit. But you know what it is that they do good? They let their people do their jobs. They don't meddle. They don't worry about what they look like to the media, to the public. That's why Detroit is who they are. Check this out. So in runs, they're 19th. On base percentage, actually, I was wrong. They're at 299. That's 28th. Batting average, they're 24th. Slugging, they're 22nd. But here's where it changes, folks. And this is where we are. And we have now they're third overall in earned run average at 3.60. Their whip is at 1.17, second. Quality starts, though. We actually have more quality starts than they do, but they have 54. And their opponent's batting average is only 234. That's sixth in the league. So they did it by pitching and no names on hitting, but getting the timely hits when they absolutely had to. So kudos to them. Kudos to them. The Detroit Tigers getting the job done. It's just they've won 6 straight. They leapfrogged the Royals as the Royals lost tonight. It's been a weird season.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird. That's my rant for tonight. Let's get into the comments, shall we? I would say, oh no, we suck again, but you have to be good to suck again. Saucy says, I need 472 spritzes immediately. And One Jets Pod says what we all need tonight, and that is a good botanical spritz. He says, everybody, it's spritz o'clock.
Spritz o'clock, angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter the score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
So Randy from One Jets Pod gets it. Also, Wilbur says it's spritz o'clock. Cali Ram fan says, y'all beat me to it. Tyler says, well, we're all thinking 2 more games till this nightmare is over. Saucy says, how do you give up 3 home runs and get 12 strikeouts? Well, you're a head case. That's how he gets it. Detmers. Artie is saving cash till he signs a Roki Sasaki. I would actually like that signing. One Jets Pod says, oh, sweet. Baseball season started. Dan Rio says, Rams over the Bears on Sunday. I think so, too. Andrew says, oh, no, we suck again still. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get much more suckier than this. This team is just flat out garbage. I mean, I've never seen a team suck this more. But, yeah, they suck really bad. Yep, and I picked the wrong one right there. Oh, well, whatever. I haven't used this in a while, so, yeah. Got to catch up back up on the comments. Fernando says, the Angels situation in Chicago where everyone wanted the Angels to win, something we don't have at home these days. They got swept and lost again tonight. Where is my paper bag? Marty says, we get swept by the worst team in the last series and the pain continues. We are so fucked. Vetter says, we suck at sucking. Yeah, we can't even do that right. Also, Angels will lose the last games. You could take that to the bank. Oh, I know we are. I know we are. My alerts are off. The Rams, though, are on. One Jets Pod says, I'm just here for the depression. Tyler says, oh, of course, this season is the worst all time. That's a great year of the Farkas. J-Talk says, hey, did you know we got swept by the White Sox? Hey, now word from Honda. Andrew says, Wayne is actually so bad. After Artie, he's next on my list. I hope not to see anywhere near the organization next year. I agree, too. What is up, Big 20? Also, David Roscoe said, what's up? This is let's see. J-Dog says, this is why there's so many suicide prevention commercials on Angels podcast. I agree. At least it was a historical season. Tyler says, we have fallen below the damn Tigers. Q Lombardi. Yeah, the Tigers are we're their bitch.
What the hell's going on out here?
Plain and simple. Saucy says, ending the season to the worst team in baseball. Anybody can beat us right now. J-Dog says, I knew we were going to get swept when Gooby said, hey, at least we play the White Sox now. Hey. You can feel it, right? Also, let's see. Tyler says, hey, Farkas. Cleveland Spiders, 134 losses, Dan says. Terry Smith says 25,000 in attendance tonight. Good God. Whole fucking season was an extreme low. You know, that is true. It was bad from the start. Also, does Jose Quijada know how to throw anything other than a fastball? No, he does not. 007 says it's good. It's sweet watching this team get bounces the Dodgers out of the playoffs. Oh, he's going to be watching the team get bounced or bouncing the Dodgers. Tyler says go Padres. Also, did Farkas get any action over the weekend? Rendon comeback player of the year next year? Hell no. Jetspot says no. I owe the bank, or now I owe the bank because he took it to the bank. Did he actually say that? Yes, he did, NS. He sure did. Let's see. Also, Mudwater says, I need the Angels to win the last 2 games to make the preseason pick of 65. Marty says, once Ron uttered those words, we knew we were screwed, but didn't think it was this hard. I mean, I would have been fine with 81 and 81 and him saying, oh, take it to the bank. I'd have been like, well, at least we're 500. Nope, couldn't even get that. At least Washington's ability to be honest is better than his ability to manage games. Rice says number 6 needs to wear maxi pads next season so he can keep the sand out of his vagina. Remember, he was like, oh, I'm just going to be out a couple games. Misses the rest of the season. 007 said Ron Washington was winning with the Rangers due to cocaine being involved. He needs to get that team coked out to win. Also, Saucy says it's extremely disheartening because this team is many years away with hundreds of millions being spent. It sure is. Nate Hustle says what we're thinking. Next year is going to suck just as bad. Frederick says Artie's doesn't allow his employees to tell the truth, and that includes Washington. Also, Tyler says the boys are tired, Todd. Yeah, I forgot that plane ride from hell. Jesus says, look at the Angels like a bad NFL team that drafts a bad quarterback. Like Madden says, you can be set back 10 years. Well, who was it that we didn't draft that set us back 10 years? I'd like to know that, but I see what you're talking about. They already said they're not spending, so what's going to be different? Yeah, it all comes down to those TV contracts because God forbid Artie spends anything out of his pocket. Hanky Panky says, I could be wrong, but I think Suarez was going to be the comeback player. Screw you, man. Also, Halo Joe says, I hope this team gets enough rest in the offseason. Artie will reduce the payroll next year. I could see that too. Mudwater says they should change the name to the Pussies. Way too many boo-boos every year, and the poor babies can't even play. It does. They do. Suarez sucks. Also, 007 says the philosophy of the fans doing the wave when this team is losing. Exactly. J-Dog says, Todd, give them a break. They're still tired from that flight home from Seattle in June. One Jet Spot says, I bet the giveaways will take a step back too. Motherfucker is costing the team, man. Rice says this team will always sign garbage can players because no big free agent is stupid enough to sign with his team. Well, one is, and he'll exploit it, and that was Rendon. Should number 6 tweak his approach and become all or nothing home run hitter next year? No. I don't know what he's going to do. He went from a guy who was averaging 27 to 30 home runs a year to 0. And he didn't even try to hit a home run this year. They're not even going after big names anyway. That's true, One Jets Pod. Marty says, get us some damn bats for goodness sakes. Also, J-Dog says, hey, if we win tomorrow, everyone gets free medium fries from McDonald's app. Hey! They've been saying that, and we've been doing nothing. I'm surprised the Angels haven't had a 21-game losing streak like the White Sox. I really am. More Perry $5 shopping bins. Sorry. I hate to say this, but fire Ron Washington, Mudwater. I'm actually on that boat where if he was fired tomorrow, I wouldn't bat an eye. But then again, who are you going to bring in here? Who's going to change the philosophy? Who's going to make this team better? If we're still run by analytics, it doesn't matter if you put Vince Lombardi in there. Pick up some of Tampa's players. They always seem to produce good players. Also, let's see. 007 says pretty Goodwill shopping. I apologize for my honkness this season, One Jets Pod. You're forgiven. Big 20 says Hawks are 3-0. Are we winning on Monday? I'm guessing no. But I'm hoping we can, but the Detroit's tough. They aren't going to fire Ron Washington, dude stuck in Halo purgatory. Exactly. Although 007 says Angel Stadium is laid back fans, they need to be more rowdy. One Jets Pod says Wash is going to be on a binder and go buck wild with a media. He's going to snort some. Otani, big drama queen. He sure is. J-Dog says, all the news channels are such Dodger homers. They didn't even talk about the Halos when Otani was here. Exactly. Also, got to admit, we have great fan support. We're like the middle of the MLB in attendance. Deo Mania. Yeah, we have they love the Deos. That's about all there is to it, man. Also, David says, Todd Fox, did you see 6-part Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix? No, but you just reminded me, David. I've been catching up with Only Murders in the Building, The Penguin. There's a lot of good shows out there, but I definitely want to watch that Vince McMahon documentary because that's when I started watching wrestling, when it was when all those guys started going to WCW, and then Vince McMahon and Austin rivalry started with The Rock and DX. That was heyday for me. Tyler says, we must honor Otani. He is honorable. Jeez. One Jets Pod says, tell me why unfinished business hurts so fucking bad. Tell me why Christmas in June is so fucking rad. I love you, Randy. Vince McMahon was great. I don't know about that. I think he's the P. Diddy of wrestling. Rye Guy says, is the other Washington still going to be on the coaching staff next season? I hope not, because he's terrible too. I'm convinced Gooby suffered a stroke walking around Anaheim mid-June in Christmas sweater. Could have been. Artie Moreno, more stingy than Scrooge McDuck. James Gonzalez checks in with shout out to those Tigers, whom have been hot since August 11. Also, Frederick says Trent Rush won't like you being so negative. No, he won't. Beer prices my ass jumping off the big A. R. Martinez says Angels are incredible at being mediocre. Jim, my man, checks in, says just another Angel lost. Go draft picks. Also, Halo Joe says $4 for baby oil bottles at the big A. Jesus says the organization is trying to create a winning culture with the young players. You can't when there is no winning culture in the minor leagues, you foolish honks. Agreed. Artie, year after year, doesn't disappoint. At least he is consistent at the old boy. James also says, again, Artie has taken something I loved into something I hate and can't stand. Artie adding monster trucks next year. Yeah, he should have monster trucks in the outfield. Probably a grave digger. He should retire give grave digger a number, then retire it. Jim also says, no, guys, if you don't queue, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. And what?
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
2 more to go, and we're only how many games out of first place? Sell the team, sell the seam. Heedy saves. Frederick says, we don't need no stinking arc. We're talking about that earlier. Also, ship be sinking for so many years right now. Ain't no party like a Artie party, LeBron James. Number 6 says, or Hanky Panky says, number 6 is great when he's healthy, Super Halo Brothers. We never walked on the moon. Elvis ain't dead. Postseason dreams. It's all in your head. I like how you're rhyming. Tyler says, hey, check the Angels post game. Trent Rush took speaking lessons from Sylvester the Cat. Yeah. Postcast. Squeeze, piss, ill, gross, ill. Frederick says also, we need a voodoo curse on Artie Moreno. That would be great. Also, R. Martinez says, I bet the Angels F.O. Yes, men, go to Artie's Christmas party every year and tell him how great he is. I agree. I totally agree. He's got nothing but yes men. If you had to choose, would you pick Artie Voodoo Doll or Super Halo Brothers Voodoo Doll? Artie, but a close second, Super Halo Brothers. Heck yeah, Todd. It's go in there like George Costanza, Jesus. I wish. Mario says, holy shit, Todd is having an Angel podcast or postcast. Q Lombardi. Yes, I know. I've been away for a little bit. I apologize.
What the hell's going on out here?
I mean, how many of you have checked out with this team too? I mean, it's been pathetic. I think the highlight of the year will be the home run by Lopez. What an addition to the lineup. One Jets Pod says, I have a massive ego. Also, we need to sacrifice Farkas to Arturo. Only Angel fans would be divided into 2 sects between honks and realists. Exactly. 007 says the only highlight of the season was Joyce throwing 105 miles per hour. Also, One Jets Pods has a huge ego as a Jets fan. I thought it was as bad as my Bears fan. Let's see. Also, I'm talking as a podcaster and a graphics media guy. I've given Todd more bald spots. That's true. Also, the team needs like 3 more big bats to even have a shot. 100 million more on the payroll. You know what, Saucy? That's a good point. You've got to bring. Not only do you have to bring in 3 good heavy hitters, you also have to bring in guys who can get on base. I think it has to be an equal, and then use Neto and the other guys to fill in. I think you're gonna have to bring in 2 guys, one to lead off because obviously we have a problem at leadoff. And don't tell me our boy Big Ears isn't going to be a leadoff. I want him batting 7th or 8th, but we do need a leadoff. We need a couple more guys that can get on base. End of his senior year, he's got something planned there. R. Martinez says, what are the chances the Giants pick up Trout? Giants fans have been talking about this and adding Soto because they're lacking superstars. I don't know. I mean, just for me, I would like to just get Trout out of here too. Todd, I don't mind the box scores, but show me what you did for me lately, Angels. There you go. Also, damn, I thought I thought my first 9 years with no playoffs was tough. Exactly, but it's more different. It's different now that you're older. You know, you can appreciate these games. We are the Pirates, except this team has a ton of revenue. Exactly. Wow, don't stress about Farkas. He is used to a drought, Marty says. Frederick also says, how many more years can Artie live? Because how long do the Angels suck? Yeah, that's a good question. Only God knows that one. At least New York teams don't have to divide when their or don't have to divide in their fan base when they are unhappy with their teams. Yeah, they can kind of get on. Like Mets fans either are really super happy or they're really super pissed. So Jets fan says 05 and 09 should have resulted in titles. God damn it. Yep. Absolutely right. I hope you troll the shit out of Rush. I will, Saucy. I will. Angels need to regain the 2000s. Winning from those were great times. They were. Also, it's definitely going to be 15, but there won't be any fucking titles at the end of it. J-Duck says Tigers better beat the Astros, and that's actually a bad matchup. Bad matchup for the Astros. I like the Tigers in that one. Jesus says the second title didn't come because of the Red Sox. Only titles we're going to get is when we get eliminated like we do every year. Marty says also we make the postseason next year is likely as Farkas gets laid in the foreseeable future. And oh, yeah. R. Martinez says, let Todd rant, please. No calls until midnight. I'd say Farkas has a better chance. That's how bad it is. Marty 007 says Juan Soto, Snell, and Sasaki to the Angels. I don't like Snell. R. Martinez says if any team in the AL Central can do it, why not us? I agree. I totally agree. Saucy says I hope the season tickets work out for you, bro. Sincerely, because the pain is gonna be for real. Yeah, I'm already regretting it, but I already locked myself in. Mario says, my wife and daughter went to the game tonight. I said I didn't want to go to it because I don't want to give a dime to Moreno. They sent me a video of them storming the field, and that was their highlight. Wow. One Jet Spot says, hey, Todd, remember when we used to stumble back and forth between 500? I miss those days. Dude, a few years ago, right, Randy, when this team was like a game over 500, then 2 games under, then at 500. Those were at least competitive teams. Justin Option says, I don't care what anyone says. The Angels are winning the World Series of 2024. Honk! Ever since Todd broke the chair, we've sucked, Marty says. Also, Todd, how would you pitch Sasaki or how would you pitch Sasaki to play for the Angels team? And he puts laugh out loud emojis. Well, I guess I would have to say, would you like to be on a team that can only go up from here? Hopefully. That's how I would do it. It's the Halo Honk line. Uh-oh. That could only be one thing. Is this the great?
Hold on, let me turn music down. Hold on, 1 second. Where's the button at? I can't find the button.
Are you okay, Artie?
Oh, there it is. Oh, 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 I was dancing my tail off right now.
Were you?
Oh, yeah. You know, I like to bust a move once in a while.
Hey, you know what, Artie? I was wondering how you felt about this team, and now it avoids the 100-loss plateau, but we still have that. but we're probably gonna finish with 99 losses, and we couldn't give the White Sox their 131st.
Yeah. Screw them. Hey, 99. That's the number of the great one. Oh,
Oh man.
we don't really have that many losses.
You have a lot of fans that are calling you out, like OC Raider said, fuck Artie, hashtag. He wants to get that going.
Oh, wow. What kind of a fella is he? I only swing one way, pal.
Oh.
Oh. Ooh, I gotta catch my breath.
Yeah, are you all right?
Yeah, I was moving too hard, Todd. I'm not as young as I used to be. I was doing the running man on the cabbage patch. And I was doing it too hard, Todd. I was too passionate. I almost blew my back out. Oh.
So you're just exercising right now. You're dancing to some oldies because that's like 1970 stuff. Are you gonna go after Sasaki from Japan? Are we gonna get another international player?
No. I don't like to add any extra sauces or spices to my Chinese food. If you want to add that on, go ahead. But I just like plain old orange chicken.
No, we're talking about baseball players. There's, maybe I'm not saying his name right. Sasaki.
Oh, the drink.
No, not the drink. We know you'll definitely entertain the drink, but I'm talking about the pitcher.
Saki any day. You want to saki my waki?
No, I don't.
Oh God.
By the way, were you at a P. Diddy party? Because that'd be a good way to get you to lose the team.
Hey, I've never been to one of those parties. Wink, wink.
Oh, God.
Hey, I don't have to. I have my own party going on right now. I was dancing, but little did you know, I'm completely naked and covered in baby oil. I got sapphire and tofuti sliding all over the place. Oh, we're all shiny and we're like seals just coming into shore. Oh boy.
I'm never gonna look at a seal the same way.
Oh, hey. Let me tell you, tofutis put on a couple pounds in the trunk. And I don't mind.
Hey, what's up? R. Martinez wants to know, because Saucy says you're 78. How long can you keep this crazy lifestyle up? How long are you going to keep owning this team? And are you still chummy with the Anaheim mayor for taking the fall? And he's basically your Ipe. He's in jail and you're not.
Hey, survival of the fittest. I didn't do anything wrong. He gave me a great deal, and I said, sure. And then all of a sudden, it's like America's Most Wanted over here, and they're chasing him down, and he takes off. I don't know what's going on. All I know is I missed out on a great opportunity to buy the stadium. I was gonna build a full-size Jack in the Box. The outfield. Oh, we got a drive-through. You kind of got your tickets to it and everything. It would have been awesome.
Why would you need a drive-through in the outfield?
Yeah, drive-through, Todd. Just hear me out. Just hear me out here. Drive-through, and you can purchase your tickets and a jumbo jack.
Do you get a couple tacos with every win or something like that?
Oh yeah, I love me some mini tacos. Oh, with all the fixings on there. Oh boy, tofuti. Go give me the mini tacos with the stuff on them. Keep the oil on.
Artie, you're a married man, right?
Huh?
You're a married man, right?
Yeah.
Every time you've been on a phone call all season, I've never heard your wife in the background.
Oh, she knows her place in the relationship.
Which is?
She knows to stay home. Don't put me pregnant, baking me a pie.
Oh, you should be a politician, my man.
Oh, hey, maybe one day. Oh, I'm young enough.
Oh, jeez.
I'm young enough, I'll tell you. Oh, God.
You got a long way to go, my friend. A long way to
Oh, yeah, I do. I got to at least be 83 to run for president.
go.
At least.
That is the age right now, right?
That's the requirement from what I'm hearing. Kamala Harris looks great for 83. Oh,
She's not 83.
oh, I thought she was. She's not 83.
No.
How old is Trump?
I think he's 83 or 82 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So she's a young little thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, hey, maybe I should switch sides. Hey, back to Kamala Harris. She's not half bad looking.
Oh my
I wonder
God.
what she looks like drenched in baby oil. Oh, boy. I could slide her from the big A all the way down to the border in 5 minutes.
So now I know that you probably shipped some of those cases of baby oil over to him, huh?
Oh, hey, I would never do such a thing. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Have you and Justin Bieber ever been in the same room?
Oh, I'm a believer. I've never met the boy. I hear he's got a lot of problems, though.
Oh,
But
okay.
I did hang out with Will Smith. Now, let me tell you something. That guy's a little funny. He ain't called the Fresh Prince for nothing.
Oh, I don't want to know any of your inner workings with him, please.
I don't want to either. And you keep his name out of your mouth. How dare you, Todd? Talking about things you don't know. That's called slanderism.
I don't think there's a ism to it, but
So I asked him, I go, hey, I don't know about you, Will. And he said, well, what do you mean, Artie? And I said, okay, I have a test I'm going to give you. This is how I was able to tell. It's called a gay test. Are you ready? And he said, sure, I'll take it. I go, okay. Question number 1. Do you like dong? And then it was question number 2. What do you really think about John Stamos? What are your true thoughts? He passed with flying colors, Todd. All the colors of the rainbow. Oh, boy.
All right, Artie. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night tonight. I think your heart is not going to be able to take more of this.
Oh, well, since Sapphire's out giving me mini tacos, and so Foodie is just slipping around in a circle right now, staring at me. I have to take care of business right now.
All right, Artie.
Just give me the eye, Todd. Just give me the eye. And I'm all out of baloney. All right, Todd. I'll talk to you soon. Hey, maybe we can get 2 shows out of you this week.
Whatever, Artie. Get out of here.
All right, bye.
To David right there. No, I haven't seen it yet. I was telling you earlier, that's definitely one I want to tune into because I've been watching other stuff on Netflix and Hulu. So there's been a lot of stuff. Unfinished business, that is. Let's see here. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd. Been a while.
It has been a while.
So let me give you the update on my life.
Okay.
So last weekend was homecoming, and Shirley Temples that I wanted to, but me and my friends almost fucked some fools up for coming to the wrong house. We're like, don't
How
throw
dare
a
you?
punch, don't throw a punch, because we were all like, you know, like security outside, because like they were like kind of shutting the party down, and we're like, hey, we don't know you, get the fuck out of here. And my friend was like, pushed him, and we're like, don't throw a punch, don't. Last weekend, and then I took some pictures with some cute girls last weekend on homecoming weekend.
Oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow or tonight, our varsity team lost 35-25 at the Valley, and I'm like, bro, heading into your bye week, 3-3, you have like, what's up with you guys? Going into your bye week on the winning side, getting ready for
Stop it. Get some help.
11 against Coronado. And then tomorrow I have a big party up north, and there's going to be a lot of college chicks there.
Why? Who's throwing the party?
I'm gonna
Who's throwing the party?
family friend. It's like it's like a big party every year at a ranch, and they have a band and we dance, and there's gonna be tons of hot single college chicks there. And it's gonna be awesome. And I'm staying in a hotel. So I'm gonna be like, wanna come back to my hotel room on the other side of the street when I'm hammered tomorrow night. I'm gonna call in super drunk off Shirley Temples tomorrow night.
If you have a girl in the room, you have to call.
No, God!
Oh yeah, for
No,
sure.
God, please, no! No!
Because I'm gonna be hammered, and I'll be dancing with them all night. And they're in college, so. But I'm a senior, and I know that, dude. I might want senior dick. I don't know. Yeah, because they're all in college.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, they're all in college, bro.
You're 18 right now, right?
And it's my last year of high school.
You gotta watch them underage girls if you were ever to get some play.
I know, that's why I'm like, fuck. High school parties are like kind of gnarly now, because I'm like, can't get with any chicks there, but they're all 18 this year, so, or they turn 18 eventually. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you could say to the judge. Well, they turn 18 eventually. I'm sure they'll let you off.
they turn 18.
Oh, gnarly!
Like they turn 18 next weekend. Like, what the heck, man? Like the birthday's next weekend. At that point, they might as well be like, yeah, I'm 18. Like,
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
like the weekend of your birthday, like, might as well be like, yeah, I'm 18.
Gotcha.
But other than that, we won last weekend for homecoming against Chino Hills, 35-28. It was the nail biter to the end. It was one of the most stressful games I've been to at homecoming at home. I was like stressing out the whole night. I was like, oh my, are we going to lose? Are we going to go into overtime? Like, I was stressing out the whole night. But there was a lot of hot chicks there in the stands.
There you go. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So,
and what else?
Well, I got to move on. You can hit me up tomorrow, my man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll call you tomorrow when I'm at the party. And go Angels, go! And oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Real talk, bro. Are you having off-season lives? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing if you can catch us, OC Raider fan, over on Unfiltered Sports Network, which is under the One Jets Pod YouTube channel. We're doing weekly football shows on Tuesday, and we have shorts over there. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great. We talk all the football teams, not just the Jets, but all the teams, me, Randy, Matt, and also Catella Chronicles Dominique, and we break down the games and give you our picks. So it's pretty fun if you want to talk off season. And then for baseball, we're still going to be doing some baseball lives as far as like the Dodgers choking. We're going to have a party for that when that happens. And then we're also going to be talking other playoffs through. So check it out if you want. Just look up One Jets Pod or click on his right there in the comments, OC Raider, just above yours. That's literally Randy's page. That's the one where you can watch previous episodes and get you ready for this upcoming week. I know the Giants game already played, but we made predictions on all the games. So if you want to check that out, see who we give love to and who we don't, it's right there. See, also David says, Todd Fox, did you see Vince McMahon pushing a kid in a wheelchair? No, I did not. I did not see that. I've seen him do a lot of crazy stuff though, and there's no doubt that he's a wretched human being. I think a lot of people knew about that when in real time because of the way he treated his wrestlers and other people. So, yeah, it's just insane the stuff that he was doing. So I think his money will save him. He'll have some scapegoats because he should be in jail. I mean, he was basically doing not maybe as bad as what Diddy was doing, but he was doing some sex trafficking. He was doing some holding some women against their will or doing some stuff. So I mean, just look into it. There's a lot right there with Vince, and I hope I get to see a lot in that documentary. I'm really looking forward to that. But right now I'm watching the Aaron Hernandez one. I'm watching the Penguin, Only Murders in the Building. So I've had a variety of stuff, and that's when I have time to watch TV. And only lately I've been catching up with shows because haven't been doing the post games on here because the team has been so god awful. It's been wretched. So, yeah, I'm looking to close out the season. Like a closeout show live I think is going to be the ultimate plan for the Angels, and just sort of like hit on the good, the bad, and the very bad, and then the ugly. Unfortunately, we can't sit there and say, there's a lot of positives. I mean, you could weasel out a few players and be like, okay, this is a highlight, this is a highlight, this is a highlight. But other than that, I mean, there's so much more bad to comment on or talk about than there is good. And frankly, I would love, like you have fans that are super jaded, like Randy from One Jets Pod, as far as the Angels are concerned. They're not feeling that anything will change. And it's sort of like, hey, when I see it, I'll believe it. And I have no problem with fans being like that. I really don't, because what has the organization given us to rely on or to have faith in that things will change, or that they even care about your thoughts, my thoughts, and what we want, what's best for this team? There's no connection with the organization and the fan base, and there's no connection with the podcast with each other. So there's just a lot of disconnect. There's no connection with the Hawks and the Angel fans. Yeah, I think the only thing we can do, and the only thing that'll bring everyone together, is winning. If this franchise is winning, things that we've talked about in the stadium that bug us won't bug us no more. AIM 830 might go from cringe to to terrible to tolerable. You might want to say, hey, I don't want to listen to Todd tonight. Maybe he's been a little too negative, even though they're winning. Let me listen to Trent Rush go, this is the greatest baseball team of all time. Hey, if that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. I wish we could pull away more honks and get people to be more realistic. But the fact of the matter is, the only way we're going to see any of that come to fruition is if things change and if this team wins. But winning does literally cure all. So if there is an alternate universe where the Angels were to somehow start winning despite Artie in the leadership, despite the analytics, and all of them would turn around and this team would start winning, it would cure the vast amount of problems in the fan base, how the fans look towards the team, change people from being pessimistic to optimistic, to get people to sort of believe again. I'm not saying it would change you 100%, but it would definitely warm you up to being like, man, I can't wait for August baseball. The Angels are right there. And then if August is pretty good and they're hanging around, man, September could bring us back to the postseason. Because like James said earlier in the podcast, in the comments, this team, the Detroit Tigers, were floundering at best. until August 11th, and they just got hot. So, I mean, it can happen. I'm not saying the Angels have it in them, but I read off the lineup from Detroit. Did you recognize anybody there? No. But at least they got superb pitching that kept them in a lot of these games. And the offense did just enough to get you those W's. You can go up and down if you go on ESPN or even if you Google the Detroit Tigers schedule, and you could look at how many games they scored double digits or 5 runs or more. There's not too many. But their pitching kept them in it, and they got the timely hits when they needed them. They got the RBIs when they were right there. They took advantage. That's not a team. Again, the Angels have more home runs than that team. So where did the home runs get us? Nowhere. Timely hitting, small ball is what helped a struggling offense. And for some unknown reason, that's been the cure to teams for decades that are struggling offensively. And yet the Angels would not get into that, would not use the data that is proven, except they would rather use data from nerds who never have played the game instead of relying on big names and other guys who correct me if I'm wrong, have been in this organization, like your Torrey Hunters, who can be an advisor, your Tim Salmon, your Chuck Finleys, your Garrett Andersons. Hell, Eric Chavez from Oakland was a consultant here for a little while. You've had players come through this organization who could easily teach a new game that was from the past. It's new to us because we're stupid and we love metrics, but they could teach the basics to these guys and get them back to more fundamentals, and that would change in a heartbeat. And you would not have batting averages sub 200. You'd have more batting averages around 250. And again, that's a gigantic, because listen, all you have to do is look at it this way. Do you want the 196, 201 Mickey Moniak? Or do you like how he finished the year at 240, almost 250 Mickey Moniak? I tend to like the 240, 250 Moniak, who was hitting, he didn't have to hit every night, but he would be consistent. He would take more pitches. He wasn't striking out. He wasn't overly aggressive. He'd put the ball in play. Even when he would get out, he would sacrifice. He just looked better. That type of Mickey Moniak. We don't need a 300 hitter Moniak, but a 250 Moniak would be great. Joe Adell, 246, 245. Great. Zach Neto, I would argue this. For this team to be successful, with everyone healthy, how it's constructed now, you would need Neto to be hitting 275, and you would need about the same from Logan O'Hoppe. And at one point, they were both right there. And then O'Hoppe fell off, and then Neto went inconsistent again. But you do need at least 2 or 3 hitters in that lineup that are scary, that can get on more often than most of the other guys. So there's a lot of work to do, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. But for right now, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's been with us all season long. All season long. And it's been hard on myself. It's been hard on the staff. And to be honest with you, we are looking for someone to help out during the season, like just helping us post stuff. Not even the creating stuff. Post stuff and get on every now and then and run a pod with us. Because, it's hard, even with the group we have, to stay consistent and to do things, because it's a commitment. And it can be taxing when it's so bad, I mean, just imagine like an NFL football team. Let's just say you're a Carolina Panthers fan, and you're with a group of people that are committed at the beginning of the season to start to do a pregame or a postgame, or at least a postgame. And then you're doing stats, you're doing graphics, you're doing it all, right? You're doing podcasts to preview and recap the Panthers season, right? And it's last year's Panthers team, and you go 2-15 or whatever. That's in a season, yes, that's 4 months long, but it's once a week. And yes, it's taxing when you take a lot of losses and you're like, damn, this sucks. We only covered 2 wins and it was a long season. But 17 games compared to, and again, it's not like football games are only 2 hours or they're 6 hours compared to a 3-hour baseball game, 2-hour baseball game. But the amount of time you talk about one thing, especially like a baseball season, 162 games, counting spring training talk, the winter meetings, getting into the regular season. I mean, it's a long season, and you want to be rewarded by at least getting to the postseason, having some hype, and realizing, damn, like we have a chance this year. We're in the tournament. As long as you make the playoffs, anything can happen, right? Like, how many wild card teams have we seen reach the World Series? But we can't even have that as Angel fans. So yes, it is taxing, and it's taxing to keep everybody to do their job when we haven't gotten to the point where we get paid. Again, we're not locked on. We're not handed an audience. We're not handed, freaking eBay Motors to where they could pay and give you a couple $100 or more a month on advertising alone. We don't have that. We have like your mom and pop places. 714 Tickets is not a huge company. Mezzo's just getting off the ground, stuff like that. It takes time. One more call before I get out of here. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
Who's this?
This is Fred.
Fred.
Yeah, we're going with Fred.
Fred, you sound familiar, Fred. Do I know you?
No, we never met. Although I would like to meet you one day. You're quite a spectacular person. You're a great person.
Wait a minute. Do you like red hats too?
I'm a big Angels fan. Is that what you mean? I've always rooted for the Angels. I always thought it was kind of funny they went with the red, but we went with red. I like it.
Sounds like you're a person that thinks a lot about himself, likes his hair.
I got great hair. I've been told by many people that I have beautiful, beautiful hair. It's just great, luxurious, long locks of hair, just blowing back in the wind. Always lands perfect.
Oh, okay. So how long have you been an Angel fan?
I've been an Angels fan for about 3 years, Todd. Let me tell you something. It's not going very well.
3 years? So do you consider yourself a realist or a Halo honk?
Todd, I've always called myself a realist. I believe the Angels can do well. I just don't think they're going to. That's all there is to it. The writing's on the wall, Todd. Although I am great friends with Artie Moreno. He's a great guy, great fella.
That's where we disagree, because I want to know, can the Angels be great again? How do we make them great again, Fred?
I'll tell you what, we'll make them great again. We hire good people. We get good people in there. You get wonderful people in there. Get them in to do things, do beautiful things, wonderful things. I can't tell you the details of the things, but they're going to do beautiful things, and it's going to work.
Man, I think, does Artie need to hire a few apprentices?
Where are you getting at, Todd?
I'm asking a question. I mean, do we need the right people in place to be hired so that they can, run this team the right way? I mean, does he need like an all-star apprentice?
We already have the right people in place. They just don't know it yet. That's the problem. We got to get in there. We got to lead. We got to go in there and do things the right way. We got to do things legally.
Oh, okay. So you think there's been a lot of illegal, shady stuff like we do?
I didn't say that. I don't know anything that's going on in there right now. I just say we got to do it legally.
So you're friends with Artie Moreno. How's that possible, Fred? How is a normal guy like yourself a friend with Artie Moreno?
Yeah, I'm Fred.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Fred. Like, how are you?
Yeah, I just wanted to get it straight. I just wanted to make sure you knew who I was. We've been good friends, old buddies. We partied together. We had good times in the 80s. What can I say?
Oh, okay. So I mean,
buddies.
You're what?
Drinking buddies. I've had a couple with him. He's a great guy.
I thought you said bosom buddies, but that was also a show in the 80s.
It's a fantastic show. Tom Hanks was brilliant, and so was Peter Scolari. He was amazing.
Yeah, Peter Scolari. How would you know that name, Fred? I mean, you go way back.
I go way back. Peter Scolari was a great actor. He's funny as hell and a great. He went on to be a producer. A lot of people didn't know that. He went on to be a producer.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
glad you didn't know that, Doc.
yeah, yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you must be dodging bullets being friends with like a guy like Artie.
Oh, hey, now that's still fresh.
What's still fresh? It's just a saying.
No, nothing. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Just checking. So are we going to well, James thinks that show was great. He loves Bosom Buddies. Are we going
How you doing, James? Good to see you, pal. One of these days I can go down to the game and meet you guys. I'd really like to meet you, James. I like all the coverage you do, pal. I love when you talk food. You know what you're talking about, buddy.
Are you going to have him on like on one of your shows? Because you sound very influential. I've heard your voice somewhere. I just can't pin it.
Yeah, I've been told that. I don't know where. I guess I just have one of those voices.
You've heard it all the time?
I hear it all the time. One guy said, "Hey, you sound a lot like Sly Stallone." That's what he told me.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, I mean, at least the fans around here aren't. Huh?
I could do some Rocky lines for you if you want.
You do what?
Never mind. I was going to do some Rocky lines for you, but I don't want to take up any more time on your show.
Oh. Well, I mean, are you a golfer?
Play a lot of golf. Play all the time. I was at golf and stuff down in Downey about 2 weeks ago, and I guess you can call it a hole in one. I got it into that little Swedish fan house thing.
So wait. You weren't at a golf. You were at golf and stuff. That's not a golf course.
It's not. It's not only a golf course. It's also an arcade. And we got some racing cars there too. It's a great place. It's a beautiful place. Have you ever been down to Downey? You can go down there, go to golf and stuff, and then just down the block you can adopt a dog.
Siaka. I've adopted a cat there before.
There's a lot of hotels there. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, there's a ton of hotels. Speaking of, what really pissed me off about I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but like they used to have a slide there at golf and stuff, but they built a wall.
Yeah, it's a lot of. It's ironic, isn't it?
A wall?
Yeah, they put a wall there. Yeah, there's a wall there. They had a big rat problem, they told me. They had to take the slide down. There was a guy, some overweight guy, kind of went off the side, fell like 3 stories and broke his pelvis or something like that. I don't know. But, they took it down. It was a safety issue.
How do you...
That's what they told me. I don't know.
Where were you born, Fred?
I'm sorry?
Where did you grow up, Fred?
Well, over here, beautiful Southern California.
Okay.
Right next to Bell Garden.
You know an awful lot about Downey. Downey's not. When I think California, I really don't think Downey. But you have a deep knowledge of Downey.
Well, I had a lot of friends who lived down in Downey, and I used to go down there and hang out with them.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay. So how old are you? You're obviously older than I am.
Yeah, I'm 82.
82. Okay. So you've seen a lot change in Downey / Bell Gardens.
Oh, hey, I remember the Watts riots. I remember the LA riots. I remember them all.
Oh, okay.
I remember all the riots. I'll tell you what, though, there wouldn't be a lot of riots if I stood here in California. I moved to New York when I was about 18, 20 years old. I moved over there for a little while, went and did some schooling, and then I came back, and I thought, my God, what happened to this place?
It's not the same, right?
It's not the same. There's fires everywhere. Why are these people not taking care of the fires, Todd?
How would you solve the fire issue?
I told them before. I said it before, and I'll say it again. You got to rake the leaves, Todd. You got to rake the leaves. You got to get people down there and rake the leaves. That's just how you do it. You got I call it kindling. It's called kindling.
Kindling, got it.
And you gotta rake it, because if you don't rake it, then you just have dirt there and there's no fires. That's what everybody else does, but California just can't seem to get it right.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you must love Orange County for several reasons, correct?
No, it's a beautiful place. Yeah, nice.
Because
It's a great place. It's not, hey, don't get me wrong. It's no Downey, but it's nice. I was talking to Artie. I was asking to maybe move the Angels to Downey. It might be an improvement, but he didn't like the idea.
I think that could have worked if they didn't build that that whole that space area on Lakewood Boulevard. The shopping center.
Oh yeah. A whole lot of nothing going on over there.
So, what hotel do you stay in when you're around the area? Is there a specific hotel, or you have a chain that you like?
If I'm in Downey, there's one called The Motel, and I go to that one sometimes. They got a good international breakfast in the morning. You can't be beat. So I'll go there. It's like $20 for a night. Can't beat it.
Got it. Well, I gotta.
You hear a gunshot once in a while, but
I gotta ask you about the Angels, though. Worst season ever?
Oh yeah, the numbers speak for themselves, Todd. The numbers speak for themselves. There's no other way but up. You can't fall off the floor, right? So you got to go up. You got to go up. It's the only direction.
Are you gonna? If you could make changes, what month of this year would it be for you to make changes for this team?
What do you mean? For next season?
I'm saying if you were to get in power, say like around November, would you make changes right away, like executive orders?
First things first, I would get all the baby oil out of that office. It's just too much. A little bit's okay, but you're drowning in the stuff, and it's slippery. If someone could get hurt, I get one person slip back and hit their head, I'm in trouble. So we stop that, and then we probably go sign a couple of huge pointless contracts and see where we go from there.
You are Artie's friend, because that's definitely
great friends.
Yeah.
Great friends. We've been friends for years. We've known each other for years. We hang out. I go to his house in Arizona. He comes over here to Bell Gardens to visit me. We have a great time.
You're still in Bell Gardens? Oh man, I don't.
I got a little place in Bell Gardens. Hey, I got to stay in the hood. I got to stay with my people. I'm kind of like Danny Trejo, I just kind of come back and stay where I grew up.
People, you're the first one, because people in Bell Gardens don't even brag they live in Bell Gardens.
Yeah, they like to call it Bell Garbage, and that offends me. That offends me a great deal. I take a lot of pride where I live.
You want to hear a quick story, Fred?
I really don't have the time, but go ahead.
Okay. So, in high school I lived in Downey. Funny that you love Downey so much. And I had a girlfriend that lived in Bell Gardens, and my friends would always joke that when you
related.
Huh?
We may be related. You didn't even know.
I don't even. Maybe, who knows? Anyway, I'm not orange though. But anyway, I was taking my bike and I was going over the river off of Florence and into Bell Gardens. So it's like the border in there. And my friends used to always laugh. They'd be like, "Hey man, once you go over that bridge, you're going into another country." And I was like, "Hey, that's kind of racist." And then so went over there, and sure enough, like, as soon as I get over, there's a couple gangbangers there, and they're like, "Hey, where you going, white boy?" And I'm like, "I see my girlfriend." And then they were like, "She's Mexican?" And I'm all, "Yeah." Orale. And they let me go.
That's beautiful. I'm telling you, the Mexicans are beautiful people. Beautiful people. Great food. Fantastic food.
True story.
Yeah.
So,
and don't get me wrong about the women. The women are beautiful. What can I say?
Very.
See, that never happened to me when I went down there because I'm orange. So they didn't know what to make of me. They're like, "Where does this guy come from?" "Oh, he must be from Bell Gardens." Only orange people come from Bell Gardens. I don't know why. We just congregated there for some reason. I don't know what it is. We're like the Oompa Loompas. We're just hanging around.
You're such an interesting caller. Well, Fred, I know you're busy. It's that time of year, I guess. But definitely you need to call in the next show, because this is very interesting. Again, I don't know what's more spectacular, your stories or the fact that you claim Bell Gardens. That's amazing.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, I'm just an Angels fan, just like everybody else. I appreciate your show, Todd. I'm actually a long-time watcher, a listener, whatever you want to call me. I'm actually, I've one of your, probably your first 20 or 30 subscribers. I've been watching you for some time now. But so I'm a big fan. But hey, you're right. I am running out of time. I got to go. I just got a bidet installed, and I got to try this thing out.
Well, I appreciate it, Fred. We always love our longtime listeners / watchers. And yeah, call in whenever you want, Fred.
Okay, thank you very much, Todd. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Such a polite fan. Such a polite fan. I really dig that. But that was a true story, though. Bell Gardens is not a great place. I did dig the women, though. I couldn't date a Downey girl when Downey was like half white. White girls stayed away from me, and the majority of the girls I dated in high school weren't at my high school. They were always in Bell Gardens or Pico for whatever reason. I don't know. I was not cool when I was young. I was very, very weird. Anyway, I guess that's the show. This show went everywhere. It's a disaster, just like the Angels this season. So I appreciate everyone sticking with the show, sticking with us all season. Like I said, we're going to need some help in the off season. We're going to retool and get set for hopefully a better season, air quotes. We'll see what happens. And maybe that's the if you ever go back in Angels media guides, they always have like a theme for that particular regular season. Maybe the theme for next season is we'll see what happens, in air quotes, because maybe that's what we got to look at it. I mean, unless something spectacular happens in the off season and they have all these changes and stuff, even if that happens and we're spending money like it's going out of business and we get a gang of players, I'm still going to be like, what the hell are we doing? Is this going to work? Everything else like that. So for Todd Fox and everyone else on the show from the Halos in the Infield, appreciate the calls and appreciate you. We shall see you tomorrow. And I forgot to play this earlier on in the show, and I think we deserve yet again another Savage Garden loss. I wish I would have kept a toll on how many we did this year.
I will be strong, I will be faithful, 'cause I'm counting